Hello, welcome or welcome back, depending on if you're new here. Today I have some fun updates to my art studio, which is just a corner of my bedroom, really, because I live in a small city apartment. So we're not working with a lot of space here, and my desk does have to be able to be used for art, but also just for actual work and, you know, any other life things that require a desk. If you have watched my channel before, you might have seen that back in January, I got a sit-stand desk for the first time and upgraded my space a little bit with the desk and also a new light. And I'm absolutely loving both of them. A sit-stand desk changed my life. I absolutely love standing at my desk. It is so helpful. If you watch that video, which I'll link below, my old desk had shelves that were above the desk built in, and I am definitely missing that organizational space. I had thought that maybe I would want to get some under desk storage, and I thought maybe that one of the bins I had next to my desk could be something a little bit bigger and or taller. So I finally decided last week, you know, spring cleaning, I have been going through my stuff, rearranging things, it's time. I also said in my January video that, I think it was January, either way, beginning of the year, I also said I needed a new desk chair, which I have not done. I definitely still need a new desk chair, but you know, that'll be next. Another reason why I wanted more storage and potentially under desk storage was because, especially without those shelves, my art supplies were very much encroaching on the rest of my room in major ways, and I need that space back. I need to have places to put the rest of my stuff. So now at least it's a little more contained to this corner of the room. I have some space back in the rest of my room. If you are also working with a tiny space, let me know if you have any suggestions with what I can do, any questions about what I've done, and let's get started. Alright, so here at the bottom we have, this is my very miscellaneous section. Very much just, I don't really have anywhere else to put this stuff, and I don't use them or need them on the regular. One up from here we have some desk supplies, but also a bunch of pencils of various kinds. I don't use these a ton, but I have been trying to kind of remind myself that I have them, so I keep them here as a way to encourage myself to use them. Here on this top level we have a bunch of things that I reach for pretty often and have here mostly for convenience. So I've been reaching for oil pastels a lot lately. I have some nice ones and some fun ones. I've been using, honestly, these ones way more often because I'm still getting to know them. So there's less pressure for me to reach for these than to, you know, break out the ones that were very expensive. So if you have been following along with my participation in the 100 Days of Tasty Art Challenge hosted by B Creates over on Instagram, I have been using these for a lot of them just because it's been a really fun way to get to know them. I'm, you know, just doing a quick little drawing with them, a little doodle, and it's very low pressure and very fun. So that's why these are here. I've got some notebooks. These are the 2 sketchbooks that I have been reaching for most often lately. This one is my cold press 100% cotton watercolor paper etcher sketchbooks. This one is the Etcher Perfect sketchbook. So this one has super nice, very thick paper. This one is the Everyday sketchbook, so it's also 100% cotton, but not quite as heavy. I believe this one is 200 GSM, this one is 300. Both great. And this one is hot pressed, and I don't love hot pressed paper, but I have been using this, you know, just for some little doodles, some practicing. This is not something, I don't always love what I do in here. It's more kind of just for fun. But I have been using this for the Tasty Art Challenge as well. On this side, this is some bee paper. It's 100% cotton watercolor paper. It's only 200 GSM and 90 pounds, so it's not super heavy, it's not super thick, but it's also not super expensive. So, and it still performs really well because it's 100% cotton watercolor paper. So I like to use this a lot for either practice pieces, or if I'm making watercolor cards, I'll use this sometimes. So this is here for that reason. I would recommend you try it out if you're looking for 100% watercolor paper that's not too expensive and that you don't necessarily have to feel super precious about. And then over here, this hasn't changed much. This bottom level here, I've got some ink that I've been putting in my ink pen, a couple of palettes. This is more some rags. This is more extra watercolor supplies that I don't necessarily need to reach for every single time I paint. So that's all at the bottom. The second level here is mostly paint. So these are all my paint tubes and also various smaller palettes. Those Altoid bins or Altoid tins are all full of paint. If you want me to do a little, I don't know, palette tour, I'd be happy to do that. I probably will at some point, but not right now. I've definitely built up a small collection that I'm really happy with. And then I also have, this is my kind of backup big art palette that I don't necessarily need to reach for every time. This is just a porcelain plate that I found, super cheap. It's a great, you know, just big mixing plate. So those all kind of live there. This top level here has space underneath. This is a cutting board that they have a cutting board top for this roller cart, which I think I bought from IKEA. I just fill it with sketchbooks, either used or not. And then of course my monitor, and now we get to the fun new stuff. So down here is this little roller, I don't know, under desk cart. Technically it's a printer stand, but it fits nicely under the desk. I have somewhere to put my markers. I have some place for some extra sketchbooks, my coloring books, you know, miscellaneous papers. There's this spot on the side that I'm not actually sure what I'm gonna do with yet. And this is my phone stand that I use while I'm filming. So this I'm super happy with so far. It feels pretty sturdy. It doesn't get in my way. And I can have my desk, this is my sit stand desk that I'm loving. I can have that all the way down in the sit position, and there's still plenty of space there. And then next to this is the other roller cart that I just bought. So this one I bought specifically because it was taller, and it actually isn't really filled with art supplies, but I got it so that it would be taller and line up with the desk better. The height matches better so that I can keep art supplies on top of it and reach for them much easier. It's also a roller cart. So all in all, super convenient. And also every single side of this opens in some way. So it doesn't really matter where you put it. You can always reach inside and get whatever you need. And then actually, if you're wondering why I have this taped, it's because I like to keep this locked, because if you couldn't just tell, it is very sensitive, and I often have it in the standing position, and if I lean on it or if you touch this keypad in any way, it moves so easily, which I guess is a good thing. Honestly, it's been kind of annoying to me. So I keep it in the locked position most often, but when it's locked, there's a little blue light here that never turns off. And it's actually just really annoying when I'm sleeping. Like, it's bright enough for me to be able to notice it. So that post-it is there purely just to cover that light for when it's locked, which obviously it's not right now. So now that all of this stuff is off of my desk side, I have like this nice large desk space with my lovely new desk that I've been enjoying a lot. And it's a lot easier for me to transition from, you know, regular work to art and whatever else I may need this desk for. So I'm really happy with this so far. Since I was able to move these magazine holder things down here, it means that I am able to contain almost all of my art supplies in this one corner. Previously, my stuff was still kind of a little spread out into the rest of my room. Now I have this little cart, or this little bin next to my cart with my scanner and my swatch binder. That, the cart, the under desk, and then these two carts are basically everything. I have one other bin that just has some stuff in it that I don't need all the time. And now everything else is in this corner. So it's just a lot more convenient for me. It's a lot more organized. It means that I don't have art supplies sprawling all over my room. They're a little more contained. I don't necessarily love this two roller cart situation. I think in an ideal world, I would have something like taller, maybe behind this, and then this can pull out a little more and just kind of stay pulled out. But, you know, this is working for me for now. And, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Again, if you have any suggestions for other ways I could be using this space, or if you have a little tiny art studio yourself, would love to hear about it. Let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and just subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.